Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Romantic and Moon, taking place here on Turtle Rock version 2.0. Over here, well, we see Moon spawning as the blue night elf at what I'll call the 4 o'clock position. Meanwhile, on the not true opposite side, but on the other side of the map, we see Romantic spawning as the red human. So blue night elf, red human in this 1v1 matchup. Should be great, as we see an Ancient of War already being placed down by Moon here. Now, what are we expecting to see in this matchup, in this game? I do not know, but the game did come highly recommended. Also have my little pocket light to try and see if that camera work works. Let me know in the comments below. I'm trying to read all of my comments, but then again, it is the Thanksgiving holidays and there is quite a lot to do. And because of that, I'm not able to do as much as I want to everywhere and everything. Trying to get into a good flow here. I don't know why my mental state seems to be just a little bit off. Anyways, Moon opening things up with the Demon Hunter. Meanwhile, Archmage coming across from Romantic. No big surprises. As this seems to be a very classic matchup here. Anyone ever noticed the clock on the hours never really move on that clock? It's just a minute hands, and look how fast that's moving compared to the game time clock. Is it? Yeah, no, it's not even timed together. All right, so yeah, it'd be a very difficult thing to time together, especially with those moonstones. I wouldn't actually expect that to do what it's all supposed to do. Anyways, Moon, Ancient of War tanking quite a bit of damage. I actually tanked a lot of damage already. Not quite sure why it's even tanking all of this here, especially where it's not really doing any damage as of yet. Its positioning was kind of wrong. Perhaps should have tried to eat some of these trees off on this side. Ancient of War going to be suffering a lot more damage than I expected at this point in stage in the game, as the Demon Hunter picks up Claws of Attack +5 and is already on the move. Meanwhile, Ring of Superiority, Archmage trying to clear up the remainder of this Sea Turtle Hatchling creep camp. Perhaps going to try and rotate into a different spot as well. Get into this spot and try to clear it up as well, or perhaps just try and militia clear out this expansion location here. Both sides are viable options. Demon Hunter now wandering out across the battlefield as well. You can see Wisps are trying to figure out where the militia are, and here's an interesting play. Alright, so rather than going after the expansion creep camp, after going after this spider crab behemoth one, might seems a little bit quieter than usual. Alright, not quite sure why, but I'll turn it up a bit. Moon is playing live. Is this live? No, this is not live, but thanks for asking. If you feel the need, for a little bit of, not to make you feel a little bit better to ask every single time. I know after working with a lot of kids or a lot of people who need to have repetition, and I understand that. So nope, we are not live, but thank you for tuning in once more. Demon Hunter Archer now making its way back down. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, we do see an Archer going to be poking at this Scout Tower. This Archer could actually deal quite a bit of damage to that Scout Tower, since it does have light armor while it's being upgraded. Also coming back down across here, Archmage going to go after this Ogre Warrior creep camp. And Water Elemental going to get taken down as well. Archmage will get to level 3. Level 2 Water Elementals, extremely important. A Water Elemental being left behind to, well, slow down those units once more. Alright, we are 4 minutes into this game. Expansion or tech to tier 2 by both sides, so no expansions. Archmage, what is he going to do? Sell the Gloves of Haste, picks up a Dust of Appearance, and is now on the move once more. Demon Hunter battling up against a footman here. Demon Hunter, well, able to get in some easy slices, down to already 56 hit points. Are the Archers going to try and, well, finish that off? Down to 29. However, that heavy armor perhaps acting as enough of a deterrent for those Archers to not land that kill. Archmage trying to run across the battlefield here, get some damage here. Demon Hunter does not have Boots of Speed, will not be able to keep up with that fast-moving Archmage.
Player's forces are under attack.
All right. right, back down on the south side here, the archers, they do deal decent damage, 16 to 18 damage per attack compared to the footmen with their fast melee damage. We can see that there's also a lot of healing available here, so the footmen could end up getting focused down pretty quickly. There goes one archer, and another footman and a footman and archer just exchanging blows. Demon Hunter, is they going to try and chase after these targets here? This seems rather aggressive by Romantic. Dust of Appearance now down. There goes another archer there. Water Elemental may get taken down. Water Elemental trying to retreat all the way to the very, very far back. Is he going to get the experience? I do believe the Demon Hunter does get that experience right there. Well, as the Demon Hunter perhaps now trying to land in even more attacks. Dust of Appearance does seem to be coming to an end. And after all of that, the Moonwell is pretty much healing all of that damage there, as the footman now trying to make its way back off to the north. One footman purposely trying to double back around, perhaps trying to buy a little bit of time. And this footman double backing around the other way, gonna end up finding himself on the wrong end of an archer arrow as the Demon Hunter gets to level 3. Naga Sea-Witch doesn't have Boots of Speed. We're trying to slither around, find a footman, perhaps cold arrows to slow them down, but gonna make it back home in time, as the Blood Mage is gonna be the supporting hero of that Archmage. Makes a lot of sense, as the Archmage often runs out of mana, especially when going up against a Demon Hunter. Trying to find the Demon Hunter for you, but where is that Demon Hunter? All right, tech to tier 3 now underway here. Where is the Demon Hunter? No. Can't find him on the minimap. All right, off over here. All right, Cloak of Shadows. So he actually looks a little bit darker, or a little bit lighter as well. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. All 2 of you watching on the live stream, and well, however many of you guys watching here live on, or not live on my channel, but through the power of the interwebs. Anyways, Naga Sea-Witch sitting at level 1, Demon Hunter sitting at level 3, Archmage here looking to just clean up a couple of the wisps. We can see that the Blood Mage is sitting at level 1 after here. The Ogre Warriors were taken down, so no items there, as the Blood Mage does have Siphon Mana, but what is he going to siphon mana and give the mana back to that Archmage here? We can see the Demon Hunter now making its way over, and the Demon Hunter, well, knows exactly where his opponent is right now. Priest are down, Militia now going to be making their way over as well. Water Elemental absorbing quite a bit of damage, and Moon's presence with the Demon Hunter just causing a bit of disruption overall, trying to get some damage here, while the Naga Sea-Witch herself is going after this Gargantuan Sea Turtle creep camp. Demon Hunter buys a potion of invisibility and may end up taking that all-important item. This Gargantuan Sea Turtle does drop a powerful consumable item, such as a potion of greater healing or a potion of greater mana. Finish off that giant sea turtle here, as the Blood Mage now makes its way over. Who's going to get the final shot off? Most likely going to be that Demon Hunter. Who's going to get the item? Invul Potion taken. Is he going to grab the Tome of Agility? And nicely done by Moon, taking that big item. That is a huge 200 gold swing right there, on top of the experience, which would have given the thank you for the follow, which would have given the Blood Mage level 2. All right, coming back down, Gargantuan Sea Turtle going to get cleaned up here. Right. Meanwhile, back on the southern side, the Demon Hunter getting a rejuvenation, able to fight his way through, tanking a large amount of damage. Does have evasion. So having a little bit more effective hit points overall, as that Demon Hunter rotates through and tries to find more and more. All right, Militia now being called over. This is going to be a rather weird spot, perhaps trying to... Where are the Militia going? That's my question right now. Oh! Druid of the Claw, is it going to get slowed and then get lost in transit? That is a definite case. There's some Siphon Mana. There's going to be a rejuvenation. Are we going to see some damage onto that Druid of the Claw? Druid of the Claw able to retreat back, and now Militia now making their way across here. 53 over 56 supply. One Moonwell nearly going to get taken down. Yes, going to get taken down. And now in comes the Scroll of Town Portal. Rejuvenation across the board. Peasants, are they going to start building some towers? That is the question here. Footmen trying to back away. Are we going to see some Siphon Mana and some some banish. There's a siphon, or there's some siphon mana. There's a mana burn as both sides are still engaging here. Tower's not getting constructed. Footman trying to engage. There's a banish onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter not going to be able to do very much of anything as we see more siphon mana as the Naga Sea Witch now gets up to level 3. Fork Lightning coming back across here. No Staff of Preservation as the Footman, well, it stays alive ever so barely. More siphon mana again. Druids of the Claw trying to make their way back over, and we are looking at more battling raging on. And Demon Hunter, Arcane Tower not even being upgraded yet. A couple of low hit point peasants could get taken down. Blood Mage trying to drain that mana, and well, there is that Cloak of Shadows coming into play down to Footman there off of the Fork Lightning. Peasant getting shot in the back here. More battling getting underway as the Footmen are trying to engage after a couple of those wisps. Couple of wisps going to get taken down. Demon Hunter down to 473 hit points, and once again going to use another Cloak of Shadows. No Arcane Sentry researched yet at that Arcane Sanctum, so that Scout Tower not really providing anything at all as the units are backing up again. Scout Tower now upgrading to an Arcane. Blood Mage looking to put his pressure through. There goes another Fork Lightning. So Naga Sea Witch, also with a Potion of Greater Mana, has a couple of more Fork Lightnings in store as we see another mana burn go down. Alright, more damage. Scroll of Healing coming back across the other way. Footman trying to retreat back. Demon Hunter getting in some damage again. Low hit point. There's the Staff of Preservation for a save again as we see more Siphon Mana, but the Siphon Mana a little bit too late as the Fork Lightning still gets off. Demon Hunter continuing to battle up here. Blood Mage going to be forced to try and retreat back here, try to get in some more damage as the Demon Hunter, well, being forced to step back as well. 45 supply compared to 56. Arcane Tower once more trying to get upgraded, and the Roar Naga Sea Witch army, that ranged army looking very strong. The archers with 700 range able to still, well, get in some big attacks. Great use of Cloak of Shadows to constantly break the Siphon Mana effect, and without the Arcane, without a tower with Arcane Sentry, well, the Demon Hunter continue to just play that role. Alright, more damage coming back across here. Are we going to see any more Siphon Mana? Low hit point Footman about to get taken down. Gonna go after, oh, there's another Shadow Meld again. So the Demon, or Cloak of Shadows use again. Druids of the Claw gonna go ahead, well, get back into that combat for more detonation. So that Cloak of Shadows really being used extremely well, being able to just stay absolutely still and, well, completely hide from the opponent as we're looking at another low, well, another Cloak of Shadows. I don't know if Moon's doing this on purpose. I gotta believe he is just trying to find the Demon Hunter into a position where he can go after that back line and go after it effectively. The battles are long and drawn out here. 50 supply compared to 60. There's another banish under the Demon Hunter. Archmage gets up to level 4. Blood Mage still seeing that level 2. Perhaps turning back around the other way. Druid of the Claw down to 49 hit points. Staff of Preservation for the save again. But this Druid of the Claw perhaps not going to get as lucky as the Demon Hunter now finding itself in the backline position once more. Naga Sea Witch does have an Orb of Venom. Unit's going to turn back around, fight the other way. Level 4, level 3 compared to level 4, level 2. Another Siphon Mana, another Cloak of Shadows use again as the Blood Mage is trying to find a way to get damage onto those Druids of the Claw and ensure a final kill here. Alright, no Dust of Appearance, a little bit more damage. Druids of the Claw are rejuvenating in that backline once more. There's some more Siphon Mana. Demon Hunter still regenerating quite a bit of mana. Druid of the Claw able to get back into transformation mode as an archer gets taken down. Blood Mage just needs a little bit more to get up to level 3. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter has found himself exposed into that backline spot. There's an Invul Potion and now a mana burn as the Druid of the Claw continuing to try and fight its way through. Rejuvenation coupled with Druid of the Claw gonna get taken down. Blood Mage now up to level 3. That's gonna be a big deal indeed as the units now try and fall back. 4-3 versus 4-3. Demon Hunter gets a kill onto a Rifleman. Another Rifleman gonna get taken down. Yes, as the Naga Sea Witch lands that final shot off there. Alright, more damage going back and forth. Blood Mage, well, I believe got a kill, or there was a kill onto a Druid of the Claw, hence additional mana. As we see a good deny there. Long drawn out battle, romantic. Constantly in low upkeep though, so the gold advantage actually belonging to Moon since he was mana burn on a banished priest. So romantic trying to banish the priest to protect him from damage from the auto attacks of the Demon Hunter, only to see the priest, well, lose 200 hit points, or I believe like 166 due to a 100-point mana burn. All right. Giant Sea Turtles now taken out as well. Main gold mines. Well, you can see about 4,000 or 400 seconds left, about what, 6.5 minutes of mining left, as the Demon Hunter once more getting in some attacks. Orb of Venom with some big damage over time, and the Cloak of Shadows may be the MVP, or the most or MVI, I guess, most valuable item on Moon's Demon Hunter, as it's allowed him to make some rather interesting plays. Coming back through, Naga Sea Witch, Druid of the Claw making their way off to the north. Naga Sea Witch, hair of experience shy from level 4. A little bit more auto attack damage and mana capacity, if nothing else. Arcane Tower finding that Naga Sea Witch, though, and now finding those Druids of the Claw. These units trying to retreat back. Level 2 upgrades. There's a Fork Lightning Scroll of Town Portal, and these units, well, Demon Hunter may be forced to try and Scroll of Town Portal out. This is completely blocked in once more. Siphon mana, Staff of Preservation for a save here. Naga Sea Witch could be in a little bit of trouble. Scroll of Town Portal quickly transferred over instead. As the units are fighting their way through, they will all teleport out right there. An interesting call. The auto attack, start auto attacking the hero that doesn't have the Scroll of Town Portal. Demon Hunter forced to just kind of transfer it over there instead. But even then, the Demon Hunter and Naga Sea Witch able to get out of that dicey situation.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright. AM Blood Mage going after this Overlord Creep Camp here. It's Rifle Caster off of a single Arcane Sanctum. That's a lot of casters in that backfield there. I'm just hanging on. Perhaps the Demon Hunter is going to come across here. Are we going to see a slow? There is slow. There's some damage. Militia trying to fight back here. And there's invisibility again. Really, Arcane Sentry, Romantic, perhaps unsure of how to deal with this Demon Hunter, as the Demon Hunter comes back through. Another slow being applied once more. Blood Mage making its way back down. Archmage perhaps transferring some items back and forth. No transfer of items back and forth. Naga Sea Witch going to try and engage against this Ogre Warrior Forest Troll Warlord Creep Camp, as the Demon Hunter still causing a bit of disruption right here. That's going to be plenty of heals. Staff of Teleportation now outbound, as, well, Moonwells are going to be finding themselves getting destroyed one at a time. Moon cannot afford to lose all of these Moonwells here. Demon Hunter coming back. There's another Banish. And now Siphon Mana. There's a mana burn there. So losing more and more of these Moonwells against Moon. Moon is going to have any problems trying to heal up or even train up additional units. Naga Sea Witch now making its way back off to the north here. There was a very wide entrance here, but once you move in, you are going to find yourself in a very tough situation. Scroll of Town Portal, tactical retreat out, 49 supply over 30. All these units, no, one of the priests did not make it back out in time, and now we see a bit of slow across multiple Druids of the Claw. All right, Staff of Preservation, most likely inbound on one. Scroll of Town Portal trying to be used to, well, save everything else, as the Demon Hunter runs back to bring those units safely back home. We do have 2-1 upgrades on those Riflemen compared to 0-1 upgrades on those Druids of the Claw. Archers only have the range upgrade. Do they have the damage upgrade? No, they do not. So only 16 to 18 damage at a range of 700. As the Demon Hunter makes his way off to the north. Demon Hunter, well, and this army is sitting at tier 3, as you can see by the Orb of Venom. There's a mana burn onto these targets again, and the Demon Hunter not going to be able to get through there. Meanwhile, we're looking at a little bit of damage here. This is the rifle. Okay, so this is a rather weird spot to be in. So there's another mana burn. Druids of the Claw now trying to make their way across here. We're going to get in a little bit of healing. This Druid of the Claw going to suffer quite a bit of damage. And now maybe the Demon Hunter gets to level 5. So big mana up onto the Demon Hunter, now sitting at level 5. Archmage going to try and retreat all the way back. Blood Mage is already back at home. Perhaps are we going to see some more Banish? Yeah, so banishing to try and remove some of the precious damage coming across from the Naga Sea Witch and that Demon Hunter. Staff of Preservation for the save. Tactical retreat back out. There's a Banish. Fork Lightning up to level 5 now. One Archer does get taken down, but the Arcane Tower was lost. Romantic has been sitting in low upkeep for the majority of this match. So the gold loss to upkeep for Moon will be rather high, or sorry, for Romantic will be rather high. The gold advantage for Moon, as long as he's trading efficiently, should be fine. We're looking at dual level 5 heroes going up against a level 4 and a level 3 right now, but a double level up is in order or on the horizon for Romantic. Romantic gonna try and make its way through here. Demon Hunter, oh, farm. I'm trying to quickly be built here, and the Demon Hunter, is it going to be able to, well, take it down? I am not sure. Trying to speed build this here, and now, well, the repairs are going to be in order. You're going to see the auto attacks there. The Demon Hunter unable to finish it off now, as it's kind of holding steady. Oh, no, Naga Sea Witch now shows up. Are we going to see some Fork Lightning? That's going to be some dead peasants there, and this is not going to be able to hold the front door. Rifleman trying to go after some of those Dryads. Water Elementals are down across here. 48 supply compared to 53. We're looking at some damage as these Druids of the Claw are trying to retreat their way back. All right, taking down some of the buildings. Romantic doesn't have any workers, or only a couple of workers off over here. We're looking at low hit point. Druid of the Claw, one more final attack. That's going to get taken down. This Druid of the Claw going to get taken down as well. There's that level up, the dual level up that we were talking about earlier, as some more damage still coming across here. All right, are we going to see some Dryads just get poked apart here? One or two more shots, and now that Ancient of War, well, that a couple of volleys are enough to take down that slow hulking Ancient of War as well. Demon Hunter, Bears trying to go after the keep here. There are a couple of peasants hiding off to the side. Naga Sea Witch, and now we're going to try and see some damage. There's some Banish as well, as the keep down to 482 hit points. There's a Staff of Preservation for a save. Peasants, perhaps they're going to try and build here, and you're going to see that, well, there are a couple of peasants here. There's some Siphon Mana. The last two peasants are gone. Last two peasants are gone, and Romantic now having no options for, well, for mining, right? There is some invisibility. Wait, what is this? That's a lot of invisibility going on. This is really strange. Okay, so that is a lot of invisibility to be had here. Sorceress gonna spot that Demon Hunter, now try and back away again. This army now on the move. Naga Sea Witch just trying to clear out more of these locations as well. Demon Hunter, well, are we gonna perhaps see some repairs? That is going to be the question here, as we are looking at Moon setting up an expansion at the natural expansion of Romantic. Demon Hunter trying to take down this keep here. This keep is going to end up getting taken out. No repairs possible. The Blood Mage, is it just going to try and banish? Okay, Siphon Mana from the Demon Hunter. There's a mana burn, unable to banish now. That's going to be a problem. And this keep down to 67 hit points, down to 46. Going to end up falling. Down it goes. And there is that Cloak of Shadows use once more. All right, Archmage. Oh, trying to figure out damage, trying to pick off units. 51 supply here. The invisibility does not last forever, and there you go. Dust of Appearance. Suddenly the Archmage is revealed, and, well, some of these riflemen are also revealed as well. Demon Hunter off to the north, going to try to clean up some of those buildings as the casters now make their way down. Moon's additional base here at the 9 o'clock spot is going to make Moon very difficult to stop here, as we see a Scroll of Town Portal picked up. Rifleman perhaps going to try and go after all of these units. Are we going to see a surround? Oh my gosh. Dust of Appearance, Fork Lightning, and now the Naga Sea Witch may be forced to try and use a Scroll of Town Portal to get away, and yes, we'll be using that Scroll of Town Portal to get away right there. Right, a couple of riflemen also lost in that transfer as well. Demon Hunter still trying to clean up the remaining remainder of all of these, well, farms here. Yeah, Overlay still showing 2 workers, even though I do not believe there are any workers on the map for Romantic. All right. What is happening here? Demon Hunter trying to take down the farms, trying to win the battle by a full knockout, removing every building of Romantics. Meanwhile, Blood Mage, Archmage, Dust of Appearance going to get picked up, Scroll of Healing, and they're going to try and go into an engagement here. Is there a Tree of Eternity somewhere? Is there a Tree of the... Nope. no tree that I see lumbering around. As the Blood Mage now trying to go after some of these Druids of the Claw here. Demon Hunter is still one-man wrecking crew destroying all of these buildings. Water Elemental has scouted out this Tree of Life off in this position here. And we are looking at the Tree of Eternity now trying to establish up in the center portion of the map. That lone Demon Hunter could still do quite a bit of work. Are we going to see the Druids of the Claw here get taken down? Blood Mage trying to get into harm's way. We're going to see one down Dryad there as the Blood Mage now makes its way back over. More Siphon Mana, Naga Sea Witch losing quite a bit of mana there. We're going to see a Staff of Preservation most likely as one Druid of the Claw going to get, well, saved here. All right, there's a Banish onto the Naga Sea Witch again. More slow Siphon Mana, Naga Sea Witch down to 200 mana, losing it rather quick. We're looking at a couple of Dryads trying to break that slow from the Naga Sea Witch so that the Naga Sea Witch does not get surrounded. All right, more damage coming back across through. Here, Archmage trying to get in front. Are we going to get some damage onto those Dryads? Naga Sea Witch double backs around, and we're going to see, well, slow now cast onto the Naga Sea Witch here. Naga Sea Witch finds, well, a way to use Fork Lightning and use it effectively, as now the Naga Sea Witch is trying to back up around the far side here. Naga Sea Witch in some major trouble. Is it going to be able to break free? We're looking at some no invisibility as the Naga Sea Witch is still just wandering around here trying to get away. Is it going to actually fall onto some of these other heroes? That would actually be rather funny if the experience was taken down by the or taken out by the creeps, making their way back off to the north here. Druids of the Claw in their druid form, they're going to end up taking large amounts of damage or percentage damage as they need some rejuvenations to stay alive. There's a big roar. They're going to jump back into the battlefield here as some water elementals try to make a splash here at the 9 o'clock spot. Demon Hunter still continuing to clean up buildings, and it just looks like Moon's army is going to be too much. We're getting good gold mining here at 2 locations. They're about to get shut down. Moon, well, finding a way to set up multiple expansions now at the 26-minute mark of this game, as we're looking at perhaps Moon needing to get a little bit more mining going down here in the southern spot. Are we going to see some repairs? No, we are not going to see any repairs. Those wisps are just going to get taken down, and now those wisps should most likely detonate along the backside. 46 supply compared to 53. Workers, well, more training going to be needed here. This Tree of Eternity is going to end up taking quite a bit of damage. Are the Druids of the Claw going to try to make their way back over to take down these buildings? That could end up happening. There is still a rather large army of riflemen. So what is going on? The Tree of Eternity could get taken down. We should see some abolished magic. Naga Sea Witch about to make its way back out onto the battlefield. So Moon may just be buying his time as the Demon Hunter, well, doesn't have a Staff of Preservation. There's a mana burn there. There's going to be a Siphon Mana. We could be looking at a Cloak of Shadows. Druids of the Claw pretty much just not even bothering with the Demon Hunter, going straight after the Druids of the Claw, instead removing some of that mana. Now the Demon Hunter may be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal, and well, there's the Dust of Appearance. Demon Hunter is currently revealed, still taking damage, and now using that Scroll of Town Portal to get away. Dryads now making their way back, back away. The Riflemen, however, do represent large amounts of damage. Also, Druids of the Claw taking, well, quite a bit of damage from these casters. Remember, there is a bonus damage from the magic damage of these sorceresses and priests onto this target, and that is quite a bit of casters here, as we're going to try and get a surround onto the Druid of the Claw. Druid of the Claw now down to 570 some odd hit points, and now is trying to get away again. All right, Naga Sea Witch back out onto the battlefield. Banish onto the Demon Hunter, trying to finish off a couple of those targets. Scroll of Healing trying to stay alive as the casters are nowhere to be found here. Naga Sea Witch gets in a big Fork Lightning as the casters now make their way back across. More, well, Siphon Mana here. We are looking at only 3 wisps in this gold mine, so it is not a full saturation as of yet. More priests need to get in more heals as the Demon Hunter, well, stutters away again. Druid of the Claw making its way after the Altar of Kings, trying to finish things off. Meanwhile, Romantic is trying to take down this well, Tree of Eternity to try and stop the economic advantage that Moon currently has. We could be looking at a couple more detonations. Archmage trying to retreat back here, and there goes one water elemental, another water elemental about to get taken down. Cross. The Fork Lightning burst damage is so large. Demon Hunter or Blood Mage really needs to find a way to level up, get level 3 Siphon Mana. No, goes for Flame Strike instead. So Flame Strike instead, I thought he would try and drain more mana more consistently and then prevent the Naga Sea Witch from being able to use that Fork Lightning instead. Level 2 Siphon Mana seems to be enough right now as the Priest are now trying to get in some more heals. Alright, Blood Mage sitting at level 5. We're looking at the, well, Demon Hunter trying to fall back here. If we don't see a Flame Strike, then we know that that might have just been a misclick, as Siphon Mana just really makes more sense overall. Alright, more Siphon Mana into the Sorceress right now, getting more slowdown onto that Demon Hunter. Keeping that Demon Hunter slowed incredibly important as the Priest are now trying to keep things alive. Demon Hunter going to be able to Shadow Meld. No more Dust of Appearance is available. We're looking at perhaps a couple more heals. Flame Strike now down onto the Tree of Eternity, trying to take down buildings as the Demon Hunter could be reaching into some problems. There's another Mana Burn onto a Priest there. Demon Hunter trying to back away. Druid of the Claw should be able to get a Rejuvenation off onto the target there. Are we going to see a Rejuvenation onto the Demon Hunter? Demon Hunter really needs the Rejuvenation and now able to stutter back. This Druid of the Claw no longer attacking for some reason. There is still mining going down here at the southern position, and that is going to be all incredibly important. All of these buildings mattering so much as the, well, Dryad's going to easily abolish magic and perhaps get that Demon Hunter a little bit closer. No abolish magic at all. Just get the Demon Hunter closer to level 6. Mana, incredibly important on both sides. Dryads want that mana for abolish magic to keep slow off of the Demon Hunter and that Naga Sea Witch. Perhaps not using abolish magic on those water elementals just quite yet. Druid of the Claw is going to, well, try to stutter away. There's going to be some more Siphon Mana. Archmage could be in a little bit of trouble. Staff of Teleportation inbound. Demon Hunter wants to get a Mana Burn off. Are we going to see some Sorceresses with slow? That's going to be the question. There's some more Siphon Mana. Demon Hunter, there's a little bit of a fighting here, but the Rifleman, there's too many bears, and the Demon Blood Mage now being forced to try and retreat back. Wow, Invul Potion, is it going to stay alive? No, it is not. Doesn't use the Invul Potion in time, and Romantic ends up throwing in the towel. Moon outlasting his opponent, no surprise, by having a stronger economic game in the end. Odd to not see Romantic or Fortitude try and go for an Expo earlier as well. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Yeah, total score, resource score. You can see the amount of gold mined, how much was lost to upkeep, and how much was actually mined. A massive, massive difference between these two players. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.